I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
barbecue sauce. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs. Doo doo doo. I want my baby back ribs.
Hey yo, 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 hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. All right, for a minute there I thought we lost him. Whoa. Hey yo.
Awesome to the max.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Welcome to the show. We're doing kind of like not impromptu, but last second stream here. It's the new year. Happy New Year to everybody. And we're going to be talking about an awesome comic, an awesome manga with an old friend of everybody's. Everybody's going to remember him. What is up, everybody in the chat? People are coming in right now. If you guys are on Twitter or X, please tweet this out. I did tweet it out myself. You guys can repost it and let me know, how do I sound? It's been a while since doing a stream kind of midday over here, but I thought I had the day off when got the haircut and thought I would do a stream talking about some awesome art, really cool book from our buddy. What's up? We got Haldir in the chat. We got Jolly Green in the chat as well. Caleb Reynolds. Earth Mind, happy Saturday. We got Tay Tay in the chat as well. Good to see you. Ronan, not to be confused with Citizen Ronan. All right. Dale A says you are coming in clear. I appreciate it. And Hendon Schneely is in the chat as well. And yeah, Odie, let's go. Kiraki in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. If this is your first time to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. Talk about comics all the time, pop culture stuff, and I myself am a comic writer. I publish comics as well, and yeah, so share this out, let everybody know what's going on, and let's bring in the man himself, Mr. Mangaka Odie. What's up, Odie?
Hello, how's it going? Hey.
Good. Thanks for coming on, man. It's been a while since I've seen you on a stream. You know?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's awesome being here.
Yeah, so
can't wait to talk about everything.
First off, what the heck is going on in your background behind you? Where are you, in a spaceship or something? See if we can...
So it's not finished yet, but kind of did a little bit of renovating around the room. So it's we've got Valerie here.
Dude, look at, let me blow you up here. This is insane.
Like a huge cutout. Oh, there's my so cool. Treasure here. Got it for Christmas.
The Pac-Man, mini Pac-Man?
Oh yeah. Absolutely awesome. And of course the huge Xenomorph collection.
That's so cool. That's awesome to see that, because some of your designs in the book we're going to be talking about are kind of reminiscent of the kind of Xenomorph monsters.
Oh yeah. I love Xenomorphs. Huge
How did you do
inspiration.
this with the ceiling?
Oh, this one. Okay. I basically got a huge pack of how do you call it? Not cotton, but Can't recall the name right now, but it's fluffy, you know, and
Yeah, sure.
you like stick a lot of LEDs on the ceiling, and then you stick the fluff on top of them, and you get this cool effect. Pretty cool. Took a lot of working hours, like about 20, and
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, the result pretty good.
that's pretty cool.
And
Dale A says, "Why isn't Phil's broadcast room this cool?" Yeah, I'm working on it, guys. I just got these lights back here, and that's probably as much as you're gonna get from me. I mean, I could make them change and stuff. Let's like they could flash. It's kind of distracting though. I just keep it at like a purple, you know. So not as cool. Maybe one day I'll get there. Odie's really putting in the time, you know.
I just had to. I had like the same room for like 20 years.
Yeah, well, I remember from back in the day, you were all about Beyblades. You were letting it rip on streams constantly.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. Do you still have a
Hell yeah!
Beyblades collection?
I do. I want to make a cool display for them. But for now I just have them in a big box, and they're just sitting there. But yeah, I gotta tackle that, and yeah, we gotta put them somewhere in on display, like the xenomorphs over here.
Yeah. Now
You know.
you're live from Greece. You live in
Mm-hmm.
Greece, obviously. Maybe some people in
Yep.
the chat might not know that. How's the Beyblade scene in Greece?
Not huge actually. Actually, it's non-existent pretty much, which is unfortunate, but it's all right. I mean, there is a new generation of Beyblades now that came out, but they're super expensive. I don't know why.
Really?
That's a bummer, but yeah, I'll start collecting those too. You know,
Yeah,
gotta
you got to
have them
start
all.
posting your Beyblade stuff on TikTok. Uh,
I wish I
there's
had time for that.
there's probably some like big TikTok Beyblade channels. I found this Yu-Gi-Oh one where it's people playing Yu-Gi-Oh live against each other on TikTok. It's really interesting, very weird, but I'm sure there's something out there for Beyblades. But let's see, we got more people in the chat. We got Eddie Winkler, our boy. Phil got a haircut. That's right. Admiral Wackass is in the chat. Good to see you, Admiral Passmaster Dan. Everybody say hi to Odie. He is back on the YouTubes. And it's awesome to have you here, man. So some people may not remember you from back in the day.
Mhm.
Why don't you tell people where you're from, what you're doing, and who you are, I guess.
Sure. Well, many of you may know me from a project called Xenotype. I did a lot of one shots before that, like a ton of them.
Yeah.
But Tomahawk Angel is my first published work. It's getting published by Dark Horse in collaboration with Tapas. Oh yeah, here,
Yeah, there you go.
here's the
Yeah,
book.
it's so cool. And we're gonna be talking about that, like how you got that to work out and into there, because I remember after Xenotype, you're like, I'm going to do my own thing now. And you
Mhm.
basically, like, people are familiar with webtoons. I know Tapas because my buddy Pablo Romero would post some stuff on Tapas as well, and it works similarly to like just basically a webcomic site. But you actually got the chance to be featured and published in stores through paperback style and Dark Horse, which is awesome. Like when I heard that, I'm like, oh, dude, I got to order this. This is so cool. I had my comic shop order some as well, which
Oh,
was
that's cool.
awesome. And when I picked up my copy from my shop, he had ordered, I think, a couple more. And this was before Christmas. And the manager over at my shop, Jim, he's like, "Oh, there's this young kid coming around taking pictures to send to Santa from what he wanted from the shop, and he took a picture of your buddy's book, Tomahawk Angel." I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool."
Oh,
So
really? Damn.
yeah,
That's
you could,
wild.
yeah, you guys, I have the link in the description to either the Tapas site, which you could read it digitally, or if you want the paperback, the Dark Horse site has There's a link to the Dark Horse site. People are posting it in the chat here. Thank you so much. And that'll actually take you to different avenues of getting it, either through Amazon or Barnes and Noble. There's links on there as well. So definitely check that out. But how has it been, kind of going on your own now and doing everything through digitally online with Tapas, and then actually, hearing that you're going to be published through Dark Horse?
Oh man, it was so it was like a step-by-step process.
Sure.
You start out and there is no guarantee for anything. You just, create a story and hope that it will do well. I started out on Webtoon, and then I got picked up by Tapas, and then Tomahawk Angel became Tapas original. So that was a reassuring thing that that it's working.
So
And then
before you go on,
hmm?
when you say Tapas original, what does that entail? Is that like now they're paying you to create this weekly?
Yeah, essentially yes. Yeah, I'm getting paid, and Tomahawk Angel is exclusive to Tapas now. Well, apart from the Dark Horse deal.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's only on Tapas right now, so that's what being an original essentially entails. Yeah,
that's so cool. That's awesome, man.
and then when the Dark Horse deal got announced, I felt like something happened. That all this effort like was recognized, let's say. It was so awesome to hear that. It was like one of my dreams came true when I heard that Tomahawk Angel was gonna be published by Dark Horse.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's crazy. Like having a physical book for people all over around the world that can get their hands on. It's so cool. We got Henry Bemis in the chat saying the art is insanely cool, and I'm not normally a manga guy. Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I come from a background of American animation and comic books, and the stuff I publish is definitely in the American comic book, the Western style. Um,
mhm.
and except I do have kind of a manga style character. And in fact, I hit you up years ago
Yeah,
after, or I think it was while you were working on Xenotype, but you did this
yeah,
for
yeah,
us
yeah.
for
Oh man, that takes me back. Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, this is I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago when we did the first Lost Pages book. We had a supplemental book called Myths of the Lost Pages
Oh
with,
man, I remember this.
yeah,
Damn.
our character Drift Legend. Kyung Lee did the interiors for it. Let me see if I could pull it up really quick here. Yeah, here it is. Actually, we're doing currently a reprint of this in a manga sized book. So I don't know if you've seen this yet, but you guys could order this through our campaign. But this was the
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, Kyung Lee did the 4-page short of Drift Legend, and along with this, I was doing stretch goals. Every time a new story was unlocked, we would unlock a trading card, and this was the Odie Drift Legend trading card. Super
Oh, it
fun.
was so fun drawing that. It was up. I remember this.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, I'm like, who's the another person that I know of that would knock it out of the park that has that manga style? And just seeing this character in your style was so fun. And hopefully,
Well, I
I
remember
want to
you
do more of
telling
that.
me make him jump out of the car while it's moving up. Oh,
Yeah, I
dude.
had that was like kind of the only direction, because he's a drifter, a drift racer, but he's also like this master martial artist and vigilante, and I wanted the motion of the car still to be there as it's moving backwards and he's leaping out, and you nailed it, man. So cool. uh
Thanks,
that,
man.
that was so much fun. So and when I picked up Tomahawk Angel and getting into the story, and at first I didn't really know about the world and the monsters in this, and just flipping through it and seeing these crazy beasts. I'll pull up your Instagram here because that shows it off very well. Give me a second. But what are some of kind of your influences, and how did you get into drawing in the manga style rather going down a more Western comic book style route?
So it all started with an anime that I saw. I wasn't really into anime when I was in high school,
Hmm.
and I kind of wanted to explore that field a little bit. And I had a friend who told me you should watch Death Note, and I said, okay, I'll start with that. And I saw it, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
Then after Death Note, I saw Tokyo Ghoul, and that was the nail in the coffin. And I said to myself, okay, I have to make an anime somehow.
Yeah.
I didn't know about manga and how all that was relevant to, anime production and stuff.
Yeah.
So I tried attending animation courses in the college. And then I learned that an anime needs a manga first. So I dropped out of the college and started drawing manga and started taking part in all of the competitions that I could. And, um, this expanded. And here we are today.
That's so cool, because tell everybody in the chat here how old you are.
Right now I'm 23.
23.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I know you've entered a bunch of manga competitions. You've done very well. You had this success with Xenotype. You got into the Tapas, which now you're being paid to put out. Are you doing weekly episodes of Tomahawk Angel digitally?
I'm doing weekly, yeah.
Crazy.
The episode yeah, they're weekly. I always done like a weekly sort of schedule, so I'm kind of used to it. I'm also I have a lot of content ready to go. Like
Yeah.
I have the next 7 books ready. So I'm not in a huge rush, but I'm definitely keeping up that weekly schedule.
That's insane. So how many pages are you doing a week then, and how much, I would, let's say, backlog do you have? Like are you, when you're drawing this week, do you already have a couple chapters done to be posted? How does that
Oh,
work?
oh, definitely not.
No.
Yeah, I'm doing everything on the spot. Like, I'm not even drafting the chapters. I just do everything while I'm drawing it.
Yeah.
Even the dialogue and all that. I'm everything on the spot. Because I came to realize that drafting and writing script is very draining. You know,
Yeah.
makes you tired. And when you get it done, now it's time to draw, which is even more tiring.
Sure.
And I said,
Sure.
okay, you know what? I'll just do everything on the spot and see how it goes. It was kind of scary in the beginning, but turns out it works out pretty well. So I kept doing that, and it's much more efficient. I'm doing 12 pages every week, which is less than the average, uh, that they do in Japan. They usually do like 20, something like that. So there was actually a period of time when I was like doing 20 pages every week just to test if I can do it like the Japanese do. Turns out I could, but I was like consuming all of my time in the day, and I
Dude,
was like,
20 pages a week?
yeah, it's possible, but you
That's
have to like
insane.
sit there and work like a dog. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've, because I follow you on Instagram and TikTok. I've seen you post videos where you're like, "Oh, I'm out walking and drawing at the same time
Yeah.
on your
um
iPad or whatever."
Yeah, I just have to sometimes do that. Like I everything that I draw is I draw it on here. Actually, I've used it so much that the keyboard is breaking down, like it's decomposing, as you can see. It stopped working, so I just use it as a stand right now. The keys on the keyboard are not
Yeah.
functional anymore. Uh, but yeah, sometimes I have to take a stroll, and because I need to work, I just take my iPad and draw while I'm walking. Not the safest thing, but um, it's practical if you want to
That's
save time.
That's crazy. Yeah, seeing what you're able to come up with, and it's the first time actually hearing you talk about kind of your process where it seems like you're doing like a free flow story
Hmm.
where the story's coming together as you're drawing this, which is really
Yeah,
interesting. And it kind of, I would think, leaves it ambiguous where the story is heading, which is really interesting.
yeah. Even to me, I'm not really like I have an idea. I know where the story is gonna go, but sometimes, um, I tend to change things before I actually draw them, and yeah, it's going to places I never expected. So that's kind of a way to keep it interesting,
Yeah. Yeah,
unexpected.
definitely. I mean, I've read the first book, and there comes to a point in the actual first book where something happens, and there's a change in tone and a turn in the story where things kind of fade away. If that's not spoilery, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have already read it on Tapas and stuff like that. But do you know what point I'm talking about in here?
I think yeah, I think I know what you're
Where
like.
some characters vanish, and
Hmm.
where was your? Because I've only read this part of the story so far. Where did that come from in your head? Was that kind of a point where you're like, oh, now I want to introduce new characters, so these ones are gonna kind of go away? How did that work?
So this is really funny. I haven't said this except to my closest friends. So that point was when I decided I don't like how the story starts, so I'm gonna scrap everything and take it to a completely different direction.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what happened. Um,
That's
it
funny.
turns out I made it so that it works and makes sense, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's the reason why I did
yeah.
that.
It kind of gives you like a, I don't know, cybernetic, almost matrixy kind of dreamlike ambiguity to the story in that point when that does happen.
Hmm.
So it brought up a lot of questions in my head. I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And maybe this stuff could happen at a drop of a hat, because it kind of circles back to the beginning where it's like, oh, that like maybe someone's toying with her, is almost could be like a simulation type thing, which is really interesting to play with. There,
A
yeah.
lot of things get revealed in Volume 2. Like, Volume 1 doesn't have a lot of explanations for a lot of. Actually, no explanation. As you go,
Yeah.
you get more questions. But Volume 2 addresses many of those questions without, like, revealing what's going on, for the deeper plot, there are definitely going to be more questions in Volume 2, but some of the questions that you have now are going to get answered in Volume 2, which is coming out on March 26th this year.
Oh, awesome. And that's going to be in book form, right? Because how many volumes are you up to now on just on Tapas alone?
So, Tapas is like, if you compile it all together, you can make like, wait, hold on. Just a quick look on my files. That's gonna be like 6 full volumes, 250 pages each.
Dude, that's Insane. And when did you start drawing the first few pages of the whole series?
Um, it must have been like 2 years ago, like a little more than 2 years, 2 years and a few months, something like that.
Man,
And it
that
started
is
like completely different. It was Tomahawk Angel in the beginning was like a girl going down to hell to kill the devil who killed her father. That was it.
that's cool. No, but it's evolved into something so much more than that. I mean, like all the ambiguity, the monsters that you're putting in here, the world that is building. Because if you guys don't know, you meet the character and she's an amnesiac. So she wakes up, she doesn't really remember anything or who she is. And through other characters, you learn who she is, who she could be, and that the world is being overtaken by these crazy monsters. Very, very like these monsters do remind me of kind of like a Geiger-esque xenomorph, but more horrific.
Oh
I'll
yeah, yeah.
show you. I got a close-up of one of them. Look at that.
That's the main monster, the Mother Queen. She's really important to the
Yeah,
plot. She's gonna be here until the end. Just that's guaranteed.
very cool. And this is kind of the opening of the book too, where coming out, see this old man who's just hanging out in this park feeding birds, and he just gets squashed by this ridiculously giant foot.
Yeah. There's mistake that's bugging me on that particular page. You see the panel that's huge, and then he gets squashed. That the stomp panel should have been like a full page or something.
Oh, you think so?
Um, yeah, definitely, because it's leading up to a big moment, and then it's like a smaller panel than before. That's
I
a
know what you're saying.
mistake, but you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the rate you're pumping out pages, you don't really have uh time to be like, oh, I want to go back and change this type thing, because you have, I guess Tapas has you on deadlines now. So every week you got to put
Hmm.
put stuff out. And just want to circle back to get to the point where you've put out six volumes basically in art
Yeah, yeah.
in
Six
two
volumes are.
years, and
Mhm.
each volume is over 200 pages. Like that
Yeah,
output is unheard of in American comics. But for you to actually be being paid to do it by Tapas and
it's
being
pretty cool.
published through Dark Horse, like that is just a sentiment to your hard work and putting this stuff out. So hats off to you, man. Congrats on that. That's so cool.
Thanks, man. It's definitely it's my hobby came to life. I mean, it's now my job, so that's always super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the dream, right? Let's see. Some people in the
Yeah.
chat. Mag saying I just ordered volume 2. Yeah, I guess you could
Oh, awesome.
pre-order volume 2 off of the Dark Horse site or Amazon or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
You actually can. I think you can order it also from your local shop, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken. But online you can, yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, all I did is I went in and I heard it was coming out on a certain date, and I just asked the manager at my shop if he could find it and order. And I think it was through Diamond, because I think Dark Horse solicits
Oh yeah, yeah.
through Diamond.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's right.
Mag
Well,
also says, I'm broke of ink and tapas, and I have to wait 2 more hours for episode 65.
oh no, 65. Oh, you have a lot to read.
that
Damn. Okay.
that's crazy. Let's see. We got Simply Green in the chat. What's up, Simply Green? Good to see you. Yeah,
Hello.
we're just talking to Odie here about his ongoing series. So now that you have started this series, now it's in print now. You're still putting
Mhm.
stuff out every week on Tapas. It was really interesting to learn that you kind of have a vague idea of where things are going, but you're kind of almost like
Mhm.
impromptu writing it as you draw. Do you have ideas or plans for different series, because what we see a lot, I mean, obviously throughout the ages with manga creators, their runs on stories could be never ending, or there sometimes is an ending. Do you have plans for other characters that might fit in well in this universe that you might switch things up with? What's going on in your head for down the line?
So I'm definitely not planning to start another series. Like maybe in when Tomahawk Angel is over. Oh damn,
Yeah.
it's really scary to talk about that. But yeah, that's gonna be in many years. If Tomahawk Angel doesn't get cancelled, which I hope it doesn't. Um, yeah, I'm gonna finish this one first, and then we'll see. I don't know, but I'm putting all my effort and energy into one place, and that's kind of like how I've been going about like life in general. You know, put all your power in one place so you can like make a big fist and hit your target as hard as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, characters. There are many characters that I've introduced in Tomahawk Angel. I need to work on them, which I'm gonna do in future chapters too. But yeah, I feel like I've got everything set up for the future of Tomahawk Angel, and let me tell you, the story is gonna be really deep. Like there is a huge backstory, um, which okay, I don't know if I should say this.
You don't have no pressure. There's no pressure. You don't have to. But if you want to.
There's like a big mystery with that ancient text in the
Mhm.
back of the book, if you have seen it. It's like in an ancient language. Um, I'm not really gonna talk about. I really want to talk about it, but I shouldn't. So
Well, I'm
yeah,
excited for it,
maybe
man. I
maybe
love
another
to
time.
what you put here in the back. Let me see. Uh After the story, there's some like classified files on the
Oh
different
yeah.
monsters and stuff, which is
Hmm.
pretty fun. Some information redacted there, but just building out this, I don't even know, what would you call the genre of this? It's very much dystopian. There's kind of obviously
It's still
violent.
sci-fi.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
It's so cool.
Yeah, these are all the monsters that I'm probably not really gonna show in the series, but I really like how they look and they're part of the whole universe.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just some cool designs. But yeah, the story I can promise you that, and to everyone who's reading Tomahawk Angel, that the story is going really deep, and it's all gonna be revealed like eventually. But yeah, it's kind of been working on my story while in bed, you know,
Yeah.
like half dreaming about about the plot and stuff.
No, I totally that totally get that. Just daydreaming about stuff. I mean, I think that's what really drew me into writing is when I was a
Hmm.
kid, I was daydreaming all the time and creating characters in my head. I used to play old MMO game called City of Heroes, and I would just create my own superheroes in that game, and that just fueled my imagination for stuff later on that
Mm.
I started to work on and actually develop stories. Once understanding story structure and taking some classes on creative writing, like that is still with me. And I kind of find myself in times when I'm in conversations with people or someone's talking to me, I drift off and feel bad about it. But I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, thinking about this story point or some dialogue or a big moment in something that I want to turn into a comic. But that's, the kind of person that I am. And I think that lends a lot to creativity in these worlds that we're creating.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's like my best friend is like that too. Like we're creating, both of us are creating stories, and half of the time we're gonna talk to him, he's not gonna be listening, and I just know that he's not listening, and I'm just thinking, yeah, okay, let's give him some time, and yeah, we're all like that, aren't we?
Yes, yes. Buzzed Canuck in the chats is gonna grab a copy. Looks awesome.
Oh, thanks so much.
We have Nagato Lionheart says, "Will Tomahawk Volume One come to other regions like South America?"
Um, Probably yes. If it's not in stores, you can definitely order it online. But if I were you, I would like go to a store and in a bookstore and see if it's there. If it's not, your best bet is ordering it online.
Yeah, you could definitely get it right now on Amazon, and if Amazon ships to your country, which um, I hope it does, you should be able to get it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, for sure.
Halder in the chat, great member of the chat, says just bought Volume One. Awesome.
Oh, thanks so
We're
much.
picking up
Uh,
this book.
I would do this, but I'm holding the phone. Thank you.
When will the second volume come in Greek shops? You know something about that.
In Greek shops, okay, so definitely after release, like, but that doesn't help a lot. Probably a month after release, something like that. I'm betting. Um, but yeah, it will be here pretty soon after it gets released. So yeah, you're definitely gonna see it in bookstores in Greece.
So that brings up another question I was wondering about. How have you um, been able to connect with kind of the readers? Because I know on kind of web comic sites, they have the message boards and the comments and stuff. You could actually see how many people have read your stuff, which is really cool, like analytically. And maybe they'll have like comment areas to get feedback from the readers, which is really cool. How
Yeah.
has that been through a site like Tapas?
Um. Well, not a lot of uh, like compared to Instagram, where I post every day and get like comments. Uh, I don't have a lot of comments on tapas, but I can really see the comments from the people who keep up. The more like hardcore Tomahawk Angel fans.
Yeah,
Um, those comments really help me understand if an episode was like satisfactory. Let's put it that way.
sure.
And I adjust accordingly. There are episodes where there is not a lot of action, and there are episodes where there is action, and there are episodes where there's something completely different, and you get the reactions and comments of people, and that really helps. There's like almost 100 episodes on Tapas right now. So, from all the comments, you can like get an idea of what your audience likes.
That's really good. Now, do you have any plans to do any conventions near you, or how does that work for kind of a guy that's like yourself doing stuff digitally, putting out stuff
So,
weekly? That takes a lot of time.
mhm. Well, I attended my first convention. It was God, I don't remember when it was, like the month. It was like on December. Yeah, it was 1, 2, and 3 of December. It was in Athens, so in Greece,
Yeah,
and I might attend another convention. It's not really like nothing is set in stone right now. But if I do, I will announce it, and yeah, people can meet me there and stuff. And also, I might attend conventions overseas. So But again, nothing is set in stone yet. So when I learn the information, I will let everybody know on my Instagram.
Yeah,
But yeah, a lot of stuff will happen in 2024, hopefully.
that's cool, man. I'm excited for this year as well. How was your kind of experience at the convention? You know, having that being your first one and stuff. And did you? And I assume you had some actual physical books with you then, right? Since it was
Oh yeah, yeah.
last month.
We had like 100 copies on my what do you call it? Bench,
Yeah,
table. And they were all sold. Were like sold out.
yeah,
And there were other shops that had like copies of Tomahawk Angel, and we sent people there so we don't run out like on day one.
yeah.
And they sold out too, and then people came to us, and we sold out as well. And yeah, I just felt bad because there were people coming from places really, far
Hmm.
far away, and they didn't have a chance to get a copy.
Yeah,
So to make up for that, I just drew them like an original sketch
yeah.
on a piece of paper, and yeah, I hope that was something.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's one of a kind, man. That's so cool. It's a good problem to have, though, running out of all the copies you bring to a convention. Is
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm definitely not complaining, but
yeah,
we're gonna be more prepared next time, We're gonna have more.
definitely. Yeah, no, that's so cool. And like having your first convention experience be something that good is awesome, you know, to set the mood for that. So hopefully you get to go to a lot more this year and you have the same experience. That's really awesome. And then volume 2 is coming out in March, you
Oh
said, so
yes.
that's gonna be even more in demand. Ronan in the chat ordered a copy of volume 1. Awesome. Thank you guys for taking a chance and ordering this stuff. It's so
Oh,
cool.
thank you for ordering. Thank you.
We have a question from Oni64. Does Odie have plans to expand Tomahawk Angel into an animated series or movie or video game?
Um, well, the answer is hopefully yes. Um, there are a lot of things happening in the background which I cannot reveal until they're like official, Uh, but yeah, Tomahawk Angel is hopefully gonna be expanding more. I mean, it depends on if the book does well, which um, as of right now it does. So that's a good sign for
Yeah.
the future, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's like at some point a hope from every creator is to see their characters in another form of media. You know, I love comics and I love creating comics and that step-by-step process, working with an artist, creating designs, the world, and finally having that book in your hand is so cool. But I have had
Yeah,
a chance to see some of my characters, you know, slightly animated, like what you've been doing through your kind of like faux animation with the two layers in motion like that with a almost like motion comic, and even that
yeah,
is
yeah.
so cool to see, you know, having the thought of actually having like a professional animation studio like Madhouse do something with your property is just a whole nother level. It's so cool.
It's like something that doesn't seem attainable, but when you see it, I can only imagine what those people like the greats, manga artists or
Yeah.
even cartoonists
Mhm.
who get their comic adapted or even a novel.
Yeah.
It's gotta be the greatest feeling of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. And it's I mean, I've been getting more into manga, even like since I've read Tomahawk Angel, and anime as well. Like I just finished Trigun from the 90s, which I was really into. I hear Dark Horse is coming out with a Trigun full hardcover of the original manga,
Hmm.
hopefully this year. So I'm looking forward to that because I really want to read the original. I'm reading a manga called Green Blood right now. I think I showed you a little bit of it. It's like a Western manga, and the detail on that is so cool. I've read some Berserk as well, and just seeing how there's the Japanese form of storytelling is done compared to Western stuff. I mean, ingesting this media is always going to help you, even if it's created on the other side of the planet. So,
Oh
my
yeah.
advice to creators, if you're writing, creating, or drawing American comics or manga, it's probably a good idea to read and take in both from the different cultures, so you could use tricks from either to your benefit to tell these stories.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's important to study like everything. It's you might get ideas that you cannot get from somewhere else. It's important to enrich your brain with as many ideas as possible.
Yeah, definitely. It's awesome looking at your stuff. If you guys are in the chat and you're not following Odie on Instagram, he posts videos and reels all the time on there on his progress. You get a glimpse into the story and the monsters that he's putting in here. And you really, as well, reading through the book, you kind of flash to, I guess they would call it, like, there's two forms of manga. There's like sen or shonen
Seinen,
and
shonen
seinen.
and seinen. Yeah, yeah.
Right. You kind of have glimpses of both, because at least in the first volume, when you have your characters, have the big reactions to things, you'll do the exaggerated face and kind of
Yeah.
like that classic when I was a kid and you'd see like animes on TV like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and they're
Mm.
kind of like the shonen-esque, more comical, silly factor. But you switch it back to kind of the seriousness with these crazy monsters. How is your experience doing that? Like knowing when to make those kind of like silly gestures in the characters and they get more serious, because this book is pretty serious. Like there's some brutal aspects to it for sure.
So the most difficult part is and in the beginning it was easier doing those silly moments because I hadn't yet started showing the monsters and all that.
Right.
It was like easier, but when you have like a sequence which is very dark, very serious,
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to find moments to insert that humor in
Yeah.
there. And when later volumes come out, you're gonna see that a lot of the humor is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gone forever, but it's gonna come back eventually. But when you have those sequences with all this action, all this blood, all this fighting, it's really hard to insert humor, at least for me. So that has been the hardest, the most challenging part, I think. Um, but yeah, there are definitely times that it's time for some humor, light-hearted moments.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's something kind of I'm like not used to, because the art changes so drastically, and I know manga readers and anime watchers are more used to that, and you see that all the time. Like I watched like I was saying, Trigun, there's a lot of that in there. Even the main character is a badass. He's like this badass gunslinger wandering
Yeah.
this desert planet, but he doesn't kill anybody. Like he's against killing anybody, even bad people, and he's super silly. So that balance, and it's almost at times a roller coaster. Where when I first started watching that show, I'm like, oh, this guy's so silly. How am I going to like him? But it definitely pulls you in, and it's like, oh, this guy's a total badass. So having that balance is key, and that's something new to me as a creator. Like seeing that change in an art style. It's really interesting. We got Levi says followed. Thank you so much. And Shane O'Sullivan, good to see you in the chat. Says followed this channel for so long, but never got a chance to watch the live stream. Today was a great time to jump in That manga looks epic. Thank you, Shane. Yeah,
Oh,
I've seen
thank you, man.
you. I haven't
Thank you,
seen you in a
Shane.
while, but it's great to see you in the chat. If you have not checked out the manga, you can actually order it now off Amazon. The links are in the chat. They're in the description below as well. Shane says the vibe of Trigon manga looks so different to the anime. 90s anime is great. Yeah, I hear that the manga is awesome as well, but there's some story points that are different than in the show because I think they were coming out around the same time as the manga was being produced. So that's interesting. Let's see. Simply Green. The reputation precedes him to the point you were waiting to see if he lived up to it or was a fake. Oh, he's talking about like Vash and Trigon. Yeah. Yeah. It is a cool story. But yeah, Odie, dude, thanks for coming on and talking about your book. I'm super excited for everything you're doing this year and to see more volumes in the store. I did have a question for, because you're saying like hopefully this book goes forever and Tapas is constantly supporting it. What would be the best way for people out there that are fans of the series to support the series? Is it better if they actually subscribed on Tapas or if they buy the books in stores?
So definitely getting a copy is the best way. But whichever medium you prefer. Oh, I also have to mention that the story on Tapas, and that's actually quite important. I do a lot of corrections before the physical version gets printed.
Yeah.
So the book is, you could say that is the remastered version of Tomahawk Angel on Tapas. It has a lot of extra drawings. So the dialogue is a lot, has received a lot of improvements.
Okay.
So it's definitely a better experience to read the physical copy.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. And it should be available online or you could get it. There's links on the Dark Horse site for Barnes and Noble. And you could also tell your local comic shops to pick it up through Diamond. That's what I did. And they can get a couple extra for people that, are just passersby that, want something that's very eye catching, because that's what this book is for sure. Let's see.
Thanks,
High hopes. Why you standing, Odie? You're not tired sensei.
Well, I've got not many places to sit. I got like a chair here, but yeah, I prefer standing. I sit many hours every day, so whenever I get the chance to stand up, I'm just standing. Oh man.
Admiral says we'll definitely be grabbing Tomahawk Angel. Love the grind and single-minded, focused Odie. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you, man. Really appreciate you.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, that's the show, guys. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel. If you're newcomers, if you're fans of Odie's work, welcome to the channel. We create comics as well, so definitely check those out. There's some links to some of the comics I've written in the description, and we're actually going to print super soon. My artist Ricardo, let me pull this up, is done with his portion of our book here. Oh, I have to add this to the screen. So this is our book. It's on Indiegogo. We're crowdfunding. It's called
awesome.
The Lost Pages 3. Some amazing art on here. This is everybody that
let's go.
it. Yeah, this is by Kenneth Rocafort. He did a playing card for us. So he everybody that backs it is going to get one of these cards for free.
No, it'd be really cool to like create a whole deck of those.
That's what I'm trying to. Yeah, he did one for our previous Lost Pages for the second campaign. So for each campaign, we're trying to put together more and more of these playing cards. I think that would be so cool. But here's the cover. This is, of course, more of a Western style comic. It's a bigger size. But if you are fans of manga, we do have a manga sized volume. So this is the collection of books 1 and 2, and plus the supplemental book, Myths of the Lost
Can you show
Pages.
how thick it is?
Yeah, it is 212
Damn.
pages. So here's
Let's
compared. I mean, I
go.
think yours is thicker, but yeah, yours is much thicker.
Well,
But
both of these are like thicker than the average. So
yes, yeah, and this is only $20 on the campaign. So if you want to catch up, it's a great way to catch up. And everything's in black and white grayscale in these as well. So we're able to print it at a better cost and get more stories out for you guys at a more reasonable price. And we have a lot of content on here, so check this out. There's a lot to grab. We have t-shirts. We're doing a statue as well this time.
damn,
But
the art here is insane, dude.
yeah, dude, Ricardo he crushed it. We're doing full color with this one. It's all about this character here, Crimstone, which is this babe Jazz and her imaginary friend. So the big monster lives in her head and gives her superpowers basically. And so we're exploring that in this story and really learning what causes that and what happens when that's taken away from her. So in this story, he has to fight inside of her head all of her inner demons. So it's going to be a blast. Hope you guys
Damn.
check it out. And this will hopefully be out in, I want to say, probably 3 months. It'll be out in your hands because we're just wrapping up production right now. Yeah. So thank you guys.
Damn, that's awesome.
Thank you, man. And thanks for being here. Hopefully we could do this again.
Hey,
Maybe when
thank you for having me on. It's been better than I was expecting. I was really tired, and this kind of woke me up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, awesome. No, I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we could do this again when the next volume comes out. We talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Love the tome. So thick. That's right. Manga. I love Odie's book. It's good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you all so much. I don't know if anybody else is streaming, but go find another stream and we will catch you later on Monday with another video. We'll see you guys. Bye, everybody.
See you.